Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back with you with another new chapter for you guys of Maker DxD. And yeah, it's been a while since I last posted for this story, actually for a lot of my other stories. Don't worry, guys, I'll let you guys know if many of them are canceled through that of my community tab. Not only that, I would also put canceled during that of the playlist when I make them, after all. So yeah. Any rate, let's do that of a quick recap. In the last parts, Leon began trying to find information on that of the leader Gogori of the Fallen Angels, Azazel. However, every information that he finds is either that of legends, myths, and theories on that of Azazel after all. Nothing concrete, unless he actually meets the guy in person and asks. But knowing his luck, that's not going to happen. Or knowing his bad luck, that probably will happen and he'll kill him. Plus, with that of Core, she also finished up her task that Leon gave her, finding every peephole within Kuo Academy. So Leon could find a way to plug them up so the perverted trio won't have anywhere else to make female students feel uncomfortable while changing after finishing practice for their self-respective clubs. With even Tsubasa, Sona's rook, actually taking a liking to Leon because of this. That he may not be a people person, but that doesn't mean he doesn't like seeing people basically feeling uncomfortable or hurt. Not only that, it seems that, Issei is now officially part of Rias' peerage, with also that of the perverted trio being threatened by that of Sona if they cause any more perverted actions, mainly that of Issei's two little friends, Moriyasu and that of Motohama, then they are definitely going to be expelled. No ifs or buts about it. However, because of this, it led to them basically lashing out at that of Leon, due to him being half Japanese and mainly his African features showing after all. Hating the fact that he's constantly being blamed by other people and the damn rumors about him, he's soon comforted by a surprisingly not wanted guest being Kalona, as she has a unique ability to suppress her fallen angel side after all, wanting to apologize for stabbing him, and plans on making up for it by getting rid of all of the stray exorcists that they brought to Kuo for their little plan that was against that of protocol after all. And not only that, they now have that of a somewhat partnership. But little did they know, two stray priests also have plans of their own and orders from the higher-ups of Gogori as well. And that is to either kill Rias or Sona. And their main target will be Sona. So with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 7, A Challenging Foe. Also, P.S., on my Discord, somebody sent that a fan art of OC designs from Highschool DxD after all. And one of the designs actually looked like what I originally wanted from my main character, actually. I could do without the swords, but they still fit. But the look alone still fits. So I'll be using this look from now on. And probably changing the thumbnail too in the coming days. So yeah, any rate, let's get into this, shall we, guys? A few days have now gone by since, the little incident with that of the perverted trio. And let's just say things at Kuo have been awesome and also annoying at the same time. Starting with that of the good, ever since the perverted trio, mainly that of Motohama and Moriyasu, the main guys that basically cause most of the gossip and also talk mainly about all the girls all the time in public, even though Issei is more, he's still a pervert, but he's a lot more conservative, even though he has a boob fetish. It's mainly those two that are the biggest problems. And because of this, and if they basically peep or cause any harassment towards any of the girls across that of Kuo, then they're out of there. Hell, their parents were even told about this, and they even gave them stern warnings too. If they cause anything, then they're definitely going to be out of Kuo. Hell, Monohama's parents basically said that they'll send him to that of an all-boys school if he keeps this up, actually. Moriyasu's mom, on the other hand, she basically told him that if he keeps it up too, he'll probably go to that of a boarding school where they crack down more on perversion after all, and any form of harassment, from either bullying or sexual. With basically these guillotines over their heads, they have basically become that of modeled citizens, even though they're basically gloomy as hell. Issei, on the other hand, well, ever since the guy was officially now turned into a devil, he's basically become part of the Occult Research Club. Basically, the most popular club in all of Kuo, mainly because of Rias Grimory and Akeno Himejima, the two great ladies of Kuo Academy. Hell, there was even a rumor, mainly started by that of his two friends, that the only reason that that Issei didn't also get that of the expelled treatment is because he's threatening or basically blackmailing Rias to not talk or anything like that, and convince Sona not to do anything to Issei, allowing him to join that of the Occult Research Club. And given that female students take to gossip like that of like fish to water, they basically went with it, even if it is coming from the perverted duo. But on the other hand, a lot of female students feel at least a little bit better knowing that the perverts that are the most vocal aren't basically harassing or basically talking in public about that of women and that of what makes them uncomfortable after all. However, there is another thing that is annoying, being the bad, that mainly around Leon. The perverted duo knew that if they're going to suffer, they're going to take one of the biggest outcasts in the school to suffer as well, that mainly being him. Ever since that of the whole incident where they chased him down, a lot of female students, even male students, believe that if they're getting expelled, why shouldn't the biggest delinquent in the school, even though he's not a delinquent? He's just a shut-in introvert after all, that mainly plays that of video games and doesn't like to talk to people that much. But of course, Japanese society always has you conform with that of the norm of what they see as that of normal, mixed in with that of his mixed heritage being African American and Japanese, and his African heritage shows more than his Japanese features, mainly through that of his skin color. The xenophobia also plays a factor to that after all. And thus, a lot of people at Kuo have basically, keeping their distance and even started talking bad behind his back as well. Hell, there were even a few times where a few male students tried to start shit with Leon after all. But from Leon's point of view, he could care less. But let's just say it really does hurt knowing that so many people trust the damn perverts over somebody who doesn't even cause any trouble whatsoever at all. Which shows that people are more two-faced than they give them credit for. And of course, this has all been going on for at least an entire week. So yeah, currently now, it's almost the edge of the end of the school day, as Leon's class, last period being that of, social studies, mainly talking about that of the government hierarchy of the current Japan system. As the teacher basically goes on with her explanation about that of each branch of the Japanese diet with it. However, Leon, on the other hand, is listening and basically writing down notes. However, he has his headphones on. Ever since that of the rumors started and people started basically talking about him, to not basically listening to all the stupid bullshit about him, he decided to continue having his earphones on from now on. At least until this bullshit dies over, but given his luck, no chance in hell that's happening. With many students basically seeing that of the half Japanese, half African American teen having his headphones on after all. With then, couldn't help but sigh, realizing that the teacher is also noticing this, but not wanting to cause that of a scene and wanting to focus more on the lesson, she decides to just leave it be, as then she finished that of her lecture and her explanation, with then wondering if anybody has any questions, and before she could basically call somebody up as she was staring straight at that of Leon, but then soon, the bell finally rings, With as now, soon everybody is getting classes done, with even Leon hearing that the bell as well. Especially since noticing everybody's gathering their things. Within, still having his headphones on, as he soon puts his notebook away, within putting in his bag. As soon he was about to head out to the room, within their homeroom teacher placing a hand on that of his shoulder, as given that he's at least at a 6'2", taller than almost like that of everybody else at Kuo, it kind of comes off a bit of intimidating, especially given his glasses gleam as well. Within, soon, seeing that of his social studies teacher, as she's at least in that of her late 20s, wearing that of a pink blouse that kind of shows off a bit of her cleavage, not too much. That also wearing that of a pencil neck skirt, and having that of, long brunette hair that goes down to that of her neck. That's also tied up in that of a ponytail. As you can even see that she has a bit of green in her eyes and out of her irises after all, as she has that of a stern look. Within, taking off that of his headphones and putting them on his neck for a bit, before saying, "Can I help you, Miss Kodama?" But then, she having that of a look of somewhat worry and also a look of somewhat annoyance as well, saying, "Takumi-kun, could you please take a seat? I want to talk to you." But then saying, "God damn it, figures sooner than later." With then, taking a seat in front of her, as she basically still stands, saying, "Takumi-kun, please, tell me, what is with you lately?" But then, soon basically blinking multiple times, saying, I'm sorry," saying, "What? I've been hearing lots of rumors around that at the school, saying that you've been causing quite a bit of problems, that you sneak out of the school, and and also from that of a lot of caretakers at that of the dorms, and even male students from the male dorm rooms, that you show up before that of curfew being 9 after all, around that of 8:30 or before, or even later than that. So and I know that I am not your homeroom teacher, and this should be Miss Monami's should be doing this, but even so, I can't just leave it be. Can please be honest. What have you been doing outside of school that's causing all these rumors?" But then, blinking multiple times, saying, "Seriously?" Saying, "Please be honest. If you could tell me, I could basically put all of these rumors aside and you'll be able to go back and things will go a lot more easier." Saying, "Easier? I'm pretty sure things are a lot more easier now since the perverted trio ain't basically peeping on every girl and talking about their perversions out loud in the school anymore." But then saying, "We're not talking about that of Hayato, Motohama, and Moriyasu. We're talking about me. Yeah, I get that. Are you only singling me out because of the bullshit that people are talking about me? Hell, you're even willing to listen to those two damn perverts over a person that hasn't even caused a single problem here at the school." But then saying, "Now listen, young man, no, I'm not listening to bullshit. As for what I do outside of school, that's my own damn business. None of yours or the school's. And the last time I checked, I'm still one of the highest ranking students in that of my grade. Still ranked number 5 if I were correct. And it's just the beginning of the year. As long as my grades don't change, and as long as I don't cause any trouble, that's fine. I don't want to cause any trouble for my family to begin with. But if the school's going to keep on causing me trouble, then you don't deserve a damn thing from me." But then after saying that, he soon basically slides the door open and then closes it. But he doesn't slam it. Now, it would basically just show that he is a delinquent that gets angry easily, as he's about to put his headphones back on again. But then, seeing that of a familiar twin-tailed brunette from that of the student council, being Rie, but then couldn't help but sigh and say, "What do you want, Kusaka-san?" The highest ranking student of that of the second years, Rie couldn't help but sigh, saying, "There's something that Lady President wants to speak to you about," saying, "Sorry, not interested." But then she's saying, "Takumi-san, please, it's really important," saying, "If it's really important, she should have come herself, or at least send that of Vice President Shinra instead. Right now, school is out, and I'm heading back to the dorms. I'm not dealing with being here anymore. After that, Leon heads off. Within, Ria saying, he's so damn stubborn. But within, using that of her devil hearing, she begins hearing everybody muttering about that of Leon, saying how rude he is or how disrespectful, as no different from that of any other delinquent. Within, she's going to say, I can't really blame him. He loses either way if he complies or not. People will always continue to mutter about him. It's honestly sad. I can understand why both Vice President Tsubaki and Ryuko-chan are basically angry at the entirety of the school, as she soon walks off with having to tell that of her president that she was unable to get Leon. Outside of that of Kuo, currently in that of a nearby alleyway, seeing that of several stray exorcist priests soaked in that of blood, with their basically lying on the ground soaked in their own blood, as that of three figures basically still are in that alleyway. One flying figure being that of Kalarna, and two other figures being that of high schoolers actually. One being that of a young man with that of spiky brunette hair, wearing that of glasses, as he has that of a school uniform. However, over it being that of a reddish bluish robe, and right next to him being that of a young girl, a blonde-haired girl with that of twin tails, as she has that of also a female school uniform too, but she's wearing that of somewhat medieval French orange-plated armor, and her hands being that of a rapier that radiates holy magic. Soon she flicks the blood off her rapier, saying, and that should be all of them, should it, Georg? Saying, most definitely, Jean. Is it, Kalarna? But I just wanted to be safe to make sure, saying, definitely. All there is basically 3 more priests back at the church. They're the ones that would be the most difficult to eliminate. With then saying, good. After this, we'll give the order, we'll tell that of Lord Azazel, and then he can give the command and order that your remaining falling allies and any exorcists that we missed are considered that of Rogue from Gogori. You are pardoned from this mess, Lady Kalarna. Within, she's saying, thank you, Lord Georg, as she bows her head with showing quite a bit of her cleavage after all. The blonde-haired girl, known as Jean, can up and say, still, to think that she brought all these exorcists, and yet if we didn't take care of them, who knows how many people would have died in this town. Good thing we took care of it sooner than later. But then Georg, adjusting his glasses, saying, indeed. However, I don't think it was too much of a waste. We did gain that of a new ally. Shame we couldn't get the other one, though. Or the other two. Within, Kalarna saying, that's now that I mention it. I know that Leon-kun was one of the candidates to recruit to Kogori due to his sacred gear, especially given that it's Annihilation Maker, making him this generation's king of monsters. And that Hayato boy. What I've basically seen around town, and I've even encountered him for a split second to judge his abilities before getting out of there. As Kalarna remembers the fact that she wanted to keep up her rouge of still working with that of Rainer and that of Donasik, and basically keep the fact that she killed Mid-Elf. She encountered that of Issei, who became a reincarnated devil, to confirm what Donasik said, after all, and saw that of his sacred gear. It looked like that of a red gauntlet, with that of a yellow gem in the center, as he sent that of a blast of demonic energy, or rather it was just pure magic in general, not really that of demonic or draconic, as she was able to dodge out of the way. As this Kalarna, unlike that in canon, who is basically that of a, fodder, she's actually more capable, as her specialty is more in espionage and assassinations than that of full-on combat, after all. It's the reason on why she has the ability to suppress that of her fallen angel self after all, something that she taught herself even though she's unable to gain that of any more wings. Then soon, she continues saying, honestly, by the mere glimpsing of it the second time, it just seemed like that of a measly twice critical. Then soon, Jean stood up and say, wait, a twice critical? That's what Lord Azazel was so worried about? Jeez, talk about a waste. Am I right, Georg? Then, Georg basically has his index finger and his thumb on his chin, thinking, with Jean tilting her head to the side, saying, Georg? Are you just thinking? I looked at the boy Issei Hayato as well. Besides being able to sense that he's now a reincarnated devil, his sacred gear, on the other hand, it did seem quite powerful. I think what you saw was a dormant state, Kalorna, not what its true form is. I think it may be the boosted gear, not just a measly twice critical. Then, both girls' eyes widening in shock, saying, boosted gear? You mean he's the current generation's Red Dragon Emperor? Jean couldn't help but laugh and that appear in utter shock, saying, oh boy, who would have thought that the current generations of the White Dragon Emperor and the Red Dragon Emperor would be appearing in this century instead of now? Oh boy. Anyway, you know how strong he is? Then, soon, Kalorna could up and say, from Donastic's words, not that strong at all. To be honest, the boy didn't even know what he was doing. When I fought against him, he basically just seemed like it was his first time truly fighting against that of the supernatural. If his boosted gear is in a dormant state, that only shows that if it's twice critical form instead. Which means, then, Georg can help but say, seems like it. He's most likely a weak Red Dragon Emperor. It's most likely that becoming a reincarnated devil awakened his sacred gear, but instead of awakening it in its true form, which would normally be that of a full-on draconic red gauntlet with spikes all across it, instead, it seems like it only awakened into that of a twice critical, which is just sad, to be honest, as he couldn't help but put his two fingers towards his forehead and shakes it in that of disappointment and also in that of pity for Issei. Then, Jean saying, really? Damn, I really do feel bad for him. Maybe we should say a prayer to him. Then, both of them couldn't help but look at the blondette, then saying, I'm only joking. But still, if Volley finds out that his rival isn't on the same level as him, he's definitely going to be pissed. Then, Kalorna thinking about the current White Dragon Emperor, the one that is affiliated with Gogori right now, the one known as Volley. Then she can help but shudder, saying, just thinking about that man just terrifies me. Then Georg saying, that's why we are keeping it a secret. Until Hayato's at the good enough age, or at least a good enough level, we will tell that of Volley. But knowing Lord Azazel, he'll probably already figure it out, and sooner or later, he'll tell him. Then, both girls couldn't help but nod at that. Then Georg saying, also, speaking of one of the candidates that we ended up losing, Kalorna, tell me about that of Leon Takumi. Then saying, oh, Leon? Surprisingly, he's the total opposite of Hayato. Then saying, in what way? Besides personality-wise, of course. But he's not unlike that of Hayato, who basically is a novice when it comes to fighting, or is not gifted in anything at all, outside of probably yanking it too many times, as she curses herself for putting that mental image in her head. Then she basically shaking her head, saying, he's actually quite capable. Ever since he awakened his sacred gear, he's actually started to improve day in and day out, as he's told me. Not only that, since I gave him my burner number, where he's able to contact me and I contact him, he actually gave me the facts about that of him being able to take down Mid-Elf by using that of her arrogance and her entitlement, thinking that she's stronger than him just because he's only human. He used that of her arrogance against her to beat her, actually. Then Georg could up say, interesting. He's already quite skilled. I'm guessing he must have done that of self-taught training when he was younger, and still probably improving on it till this day. I must say, he's quite interesting of a human. Plus, I feel like there's something else lying dormant within him. I don't know what, but it's just got me curious too. Within, Georg saying, already a quite skilled fighter, already got a better handle of his sacred gear than that of Hayato, and possibly a dormant power. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Raising up his head, but then looking back at that of the busty blue Ned's fallen angel saying, Kalorna saying, as she stands at attention saying, yes, Lord Georg, your duties to that of this mission is done. You've cleared out your debt by basically slaughtering all of the stray exorcists that would be a problem here in this town. And for that, I thank you. You are relieved of duty and you can head back to Kogori. Within saying, I appreciate that. But however, there are still, like I said, 3 more exorcists up at the church. And alongside that of Asia Argento as well. Rainer's too prideful to start that of the sacred gear ritual, extraction ritual already. So she's going to take her time after all. However, the 3 remaining stray exorcists will probably be a problem though. Within saying, what kind of problem? As Georg couldn't help but narrow his eyes a bit. Within, Kalinar basically explains that the 3 exorcists are Fried Selzen, Flynn Yord, and Urs Bobaton. Hearing those names, both Jean and Georg couldn't help but have their eyes shocked. However, the first name wasn't too much of a problem, but it was the last 2 that was. Within, Jean saying, Flynn and Urs are here? You gotta be kidding me! With Georg having that of a look of frustration, could help but say, damn it! If they're here, then this definitely was a Kakebeel scheme from the very beginning. I should have seen it coming. With Kalinar a little bit confused, as she's aware that, well, both Urs and Flynn are holy sword users that were directly under that of Kakebeel. However, they're still basically stray priests after all, no different from anyone else. Only difference is that, unlike the rest of the other priests, the 2 of them have that of holy weapons that they ended up stealing from the church when they went rogue, when they were still that of young kids after all, and ended up joining Gogori. What's the problem? With then soon, Georg looking at that of Kalinar's confused face saying, by the look of your face, you're wondering what's the difference between the 2 of them. The difference is that Urs Bobaton, that of the red-haired, ponytailed young man with that of the rugged look, is on a whole other level. He may be a mere human, but he's already on the level of a high-class being, such as that of fallen angels who have that of at least six wings are on the level of that of high class, after all. And maybe even take on that of the peak of high class, such as that of 8-wing fallen angels, and even that of devil nobility as well. Not to mention the holy weapon that he has is quite dangerous. As for Flynn Yor, he's not on the same level as that of Urs, but he's still pretty strong. Unlike that of Fried Selzen and that of an Urs, Flynn basically takes that of pleasure in killing people. He doesn't take his time killing them slowly or basically feeling the pain or have them feeling the pain after all. Nah, he just enjoys slaughtering people. He makes it quick, fast, and to the pace, seeing their blood basically spill before them. He doesn't monogamize or basically or talk about how good he is. He only does one thing: go for the kill and the kill only. And he does it with a smile on his face, especially given that of the weapon, the holy weapon that he has. With then soon couldn't help but sigh, thinking, this is a lot more dangerous than we think. And if they're ordered by Kakebeel, then they probably are. Then their objective is completely different from what they're doing with Rainer. God damn it. I need to figure this out. I'm heading back to that of our temporary base and getting contact with that of the higher-ups, and also with the boss as well. Jean, you're coming with me, saying, okie dokie. Within, looking at Kalina, saying, Kalina, I know that you're done with this mission, but I need you to stay here and keep us informed about what's going on. If you can step in to basically stop those two for what they were doing, then do it. But only if you know that you can survive. Don't waste your life away. Just because you're a low-ranking fallen angel doesn't mean anything. Within, she's saying, understood. Within, after that, Georg having a serious look in his face. Before then, a fog begins to consume around him and Jean, as his being his Longinus sacred gear, dimension lost, as he and her ended up disappearing without a trace. Within, Kalina also flies off as well, and she begins to think, Leon, please stay safe. If you don't want to get involved with the supernatural, just don't get involved. With that, speaking of Leon, he's currently heading back to his place, wanting to take that of a shortcut through that of the park and in between that of the train station. As normally he would have taken the bus, but honestly, he just needs some time to get away from everything at Kuo after all, given that some students from Kuo would be on the bus after all. Hell, he hasn't even had the time to basically change out of his school uniform. As he continues walking, he couldn't help but take at least out of wanting to take a breather at least a little bit before heading back, as he finds that of a simple bench to sit at. Within, thinking, I hate this shit. I hate this godforsaken shit so damn much. More than anything, I hate that damn school. Within, Peru, sitting right next to that of Leon, as she crossing her legs and her arms around that of her surprisingly ample chest, not too big, but still, as she's basically still looking forward, not looking at that of her master, saying, why do you put up with this, master? Within saying, put up with what? Do not play dumb with me. And she looks straight as she basically glances at Leon, while still basically looking like she's not even looking at him. Within, she's saying, you allow people to talk about you behind your back instead of standing up for yourselves. You don't bother basically speaking up and telling them that all the rumors said about you are wrong. Can I ask why? Why do you allow this? Why do you allow people to continue to look down on you on such things? Within, the others inside of his head couldn't help but speak up. Even Godfrey, the man of justice himself, couldn't help but say, I agree. Come on, boss. Why do you let them talk bad about you? You're a kind, caring, and honestly good-natured guy. Surely you're not much of a talkative person, and you don't like hanging around people too much. But that doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. Why don't you just tell them and get justice for yourself? Percival speaking up as well, and that of his stern and somewhat honorable tone, speaking, I agree, my lord. But if you refuse to basically talk about them, then maybe some people will know not to mess with you if you cut them down. Within, Leon could up and say, do not you dare, Percival! As he soon says this out loud. Within, a few people couldn't help but stare at them, as then even Peru couldn't help but look at that of her master, as he realized what he's done. Within, a tint of blush on his cheeks, even though you can barely see it, as he sits back down before sighing, saying, look, as much as I want to, as much as I would want to basically defend myself and basically tell them that all the bullshit that people talk about me is complete and absolute bullshit. But you really think people are going to listen to me? So many people believe that I am completely African American, even though I am half Japanese. I've always been half Japanese. Even the people that I went to junior high with, mainly that of many girls and a few guys as well, and know this too. Even some who I've basically been friends with, who I basically knew back in grade school, know this as well. And yet, they basically believe everything that other people say, because you want to know why? Because this is the society we live in Japan. We are a closed off, xenophobic country that basically believes what anybody says only inside what their own little bubble saying. And all of this is because of a lot of bullshit that has happened in Japan, especially throughout all of history. There are so many instances when people outside of the country have caused harm to its nations, and and those who are inside the country are the ones who help it out. However, there have always been people outside of the nation who also help out the country too. It's easily forgotten about because it's those who are Japanese, the ones who truly help out the nation as well. Nothing more, nothing less. People listen to what they want to listen to. They don't care about listening to the real truth. And I have to admit, this past week, even with all the stupid rumors, everybody basically looking down on me, I will say this, as Leon couldn't help but have that of a smile on his face as he continued saying, my life has been a lot more better when I've had you guys by my side. Hell, if I didn't and all this shit kept on happening and I didn't have you guys to keep me sane, who knows what I would have done. I probably would have lost it. Hell, I probably would have already called my parents to allow me to leave Kuo already, begged them to let me leave that dead-end piece of shit school. And yet, here I am, still holding my ground at that school after all. And it's all because of you. I'm actually thankful that I awakened Annihilation Maker, because if it wasn't for any of you, I wouldn't be able to be on this level that I am now. However, honestly, I'm more glad that I haven't gotten too much involved with the supernatural yet, though. Because if I did, who knows how much bullshit I would have gotten myself into. With then, soon, of course, saying, oh, totes. Especially given about all those stray priests that's been happening all around the city. Saying, tell me about it. Really glad that Kalina's keeping me involved. She already messaged me saying that she's taking care of the last remaining of them. Then after that, as he couldn't help but remind what else she said as she pulls out his phone, looking back at his text messages, before then saying, yeah. Also saying that that after taking care of the remaining priests, they're going to release that of a kill order on that of Rainer and anybody else that's remaining. After that, everything would go back to normal here in Kuo, like it's always been. Godfrey basically standing right behind that of Peru and Leon, as seeing him in that of his ice armor glory and orange red hair, arms crossed, saying, I don't know, boss. It just feels too easy. To be honest, I feel like there's something else going on. Saying, maybe you're right. But even so, within, standing up before saying, I still need to get stronger and grow even stronger than before. So that also means I need to gain that of create new blades. I've also decided to do something else as well, in case that this city continues needing help. Within Peru saying, always on the move and always ready for action. As she couldn't help but smirk before placing her hand on Leon's shoulder saying, you truly are an amazing person, master. Within, Leon couldn't help but blush saying, thanks, Peru. Within, as Godfrey disappears, within, soon Peru is about to do the same before somebody spoke up saying, Takumi-senpai. Within, realizing that in the voice as it being Ryuko, and she isn't alone, as both Momo, alongside that of Tsubasa, is there too. Within, Leon and Peru wondering, what are they doing here? Within, Leon speaking up saying, so, can I ask why you girls are here and not at Kuo? After that, they soon begin to relax a little bit before Leon head back to his place. As then Leon saying, so this is one of your duties. Basically to look after that of Kuo during the day, while Rias senpai basically in her periods looks out that of the night. That makes a lot of sense now. With then soon Momo saying, it's to be expected. They both own this town after all. Within saying, even though I still call bullshit about that. Within, as he says this quietly with that of a mirth look on his face. Within, Tsubasa couldn't help but have that of a teasing look on her say, oh, is that so? Why do you say that, Takumi-kun? Within, Leon couldn't help but step back for a bit saying, look, I'm just saying my piece. I've been in this town longer than they both have. And this town has always never had to deal with that of devils and fallen angels and priests as long as I lived in this town. Until now when I become freaking high school and those girls show up. So yeah, I'm a little bit pissed about this. Especially given that all three of them are also residents of Kuo as well. Well, maybe Momo originally lived in Tokyo before moving to Kuo, mainly doing that since she is part of Sona's peerage after all. But then Momo couldn't help but have that of a stern look saying, "Look, Takumi-kun, we know you don't like how things are right now," saying, "That's basically the understatement." But then she continues saying, "But this is how it is. Kuo is under devil controlled territory, and it's under that of Lady President and also Miss Grimmery as well. If you don't like it, then you can leave," saying, "Like I would leave my hometown just because a bunch of spoiled princesses are here." With then, soon hearing that, all three of them couldn't get a little bit annoyed. However, Ryuko did feel a little bit conflicted, glaring at that of her crush. With then, soon, Leon realizing what he said, saying, "Sorry, that just came out wrong." With then, Peru stepping up saying, "Please allow me to apologize on my master's behalf. He's just been stressed out." With then, Tsubasa couldn't help but snort saying, "I bet, with all the rumors going around about you, kinda makes a lot of sense on why you would feel a little bit tensy, especially given that we're both in the same homeroom class too." With then, soon, Leon couldn't help but glare at that of Tsubasa. With then, soon, Momo basically stepping in saying, "On behalf of Tsubasa, I apologize for her. And yes, the situation for you at Kuo does seem a little bit frustrating." That's putting it lightly. Before taking a sigh, saying, "Look, I know what she was trying to do. She finally stepped up and finally was trying to give that of the perverted trio, or rather perverted duo, counting that of Hayato, out of it, a lifeline to make sure that if they want to stay at Kuo, then they better basically not do anything stupid." However, it also ended up being a double-edged sword, because since now the perverted trio, or rather perverted duo, ain't doing shit anymore, they now are just spreading rumors about me. And since I don't do anything about those damn rumors, because I don't want to get involved with this shit, of course they're going to continue to spread and continue to annoy the hell out of me. But then, soon Ryuko come up and say, "Then why don't you, senpai?" As looking at that of the brunette-haired, twin-tailed, and somewhat cute first year. But then, she came up a blush before then saying, "Why don't you say anything about them? We know that you're a nice and kind person, that you're not really what people say you are, that you're a delinquent or future criminal, or basically doing things behind people's backs after schools are done. So why don't you speak up for yourself?" With then, soon, Leon was about to say something. Somebody spoke up saying, "Leon? Leon Takumi? Is that really you?" Within, all the girls alongside that of Leon Peru, looking back at that of a guy that looks quite buff for his age, but not as tall as Leon, as he has that of spiky black hair, a somewhat average but and a slightly handsome face, as he wears that of a school uniform from another school. However, it's one that's familiar here at Kuo, as it's one of the two schools outside of Kuo Academy, as there's two other high schools, which are a prep school, actually. Seeing that of the school uniform, which basically is up, as the upper jacket is blue, with that of, as the pants are basically looking like that, is also blue, but with that of a flowery pattern on it, mainly on that of the right side of the pants leg. And the tie is basically orange, as he walks over to Leon, with then Leon getting a good look at him saying, "Wait, Minagaya? Sojiro Minagaya?" With then the girl saying, "You know this guy?" As then the guy known as Minagaya saying, "Know him? Come on, this guy and I go way back in junior high school, actually." Especially being the vice president of the former Mixed Martial Arts Club. With then all of them could up and say, "Mixed martial arts?" As Peru saying, "That actually makes sense now." With then soon Leon saying, "That was a long time ago. I'm no longer doing mixed martial arts. Within saying, oh yeah? Within grabbing him by that of his right arm. Within, soon, Leon basically counteracts that of the grab with that of his left arm. Before then, grabbing the arm. As then, the other guy couldn't help but grab that of Leon's arm. Within, soon, the two looking like they're back in a stalemate. As the girls were about to step in, even that Peru was about to materialize that of her spear. Before then, soon, he couldn't help but smirk, saying, it looks like you're still keeping up with your training. No difference there. Within saying, just a little bit of sparring training, that's all. As then, the two let go. Before then, having that of a clash of hands. As then, soon, as they stopped clashing. Before then, saying, so, heading back home? I thought for sure that you would be at the Kuo Academy dorm, saying, just heading back home for a little bit to relax. Don't want to be around Kuo's dorms. Saying, yeah, kind of figured that. Within saying, figure what? As me and the guy was saying, oh, right. I have a few friends from Kuo that I still hanged out with. Turns out a lot of rumors about you being a delinquent and shit like that. Within saying, figures. Within saying, dude, come on. Those rumors still happen. I can't believe those rumors still go on, even back in junior high school. And people are still spreading them. By Buddha's name, people really don't know on how to just stop spreading shit. Then, soon, Ryukai, alongside that of Momo, couldn't help but say, wait, these rumors have happened since all the way back in junior high school? Then, Peru couldn't help but narrow her eyes a bit at hearing that, saying, now I understand why he doesn't bother. Within, Leon saying, yeah, people still are idiots. Saying, but even so, I'm handling myself. You sure? Why don't you just tell your parents to come to Coco and I? I mean, everybody else from the clubs are still here, are basically there. And many of the guys and many of the people that basically, talk shit about you are mainly half of the female population from old junior high, or a few guys that just hated you because you were too much of a good-looking dude. But then, Leon saying, just don't try and flatter me, man. As for Kuo, my parents basically wanted me to go and try and make some friends, but as Minagame couldn't help but wrap his arm around that of the half African-American and Japanese student before then saying, because you're too much of an introverted otaku, saying, piss off, saying, can't. It's too much fun messing with you from time to time. As Minagame couldn't help but laugh for a bit, even Leon, looking annoyed, couldn't help but have that of a slight smirk on his mouth. As then Tsubasa saying, what the hell am I looking at here? As her look basically says it all, with even Momo having that of a stupefied look saying, I am completely stumped too. Normally he's always grumpy as hell, but yet now. But then, seeing him basically have that of a more, casual and nice look to him, and smiling a bit, part of Momo couldn't help but blush even more, showing that not only he's strong, but other things. Even that of Ryukai couldn't help but basically, blush quite a bit, seeing that of Leon's smile for a bit, even if it is just a little bit of a smirk, thinking to herself, I really want to take a picture of this. Then, soon, Minagame couldn't have say, at any rate, just think it over, man. I know how much you don't want to disappoint your parents and you don't want to basically be a burden to them, but just try. But I think your happiness is way more better than you just trying to keep a promise to your parents. Just think about it, man. After all, you got at least that of one more year if you stay at that of Kuo. Hell, by that time, as he says this while walking backwards, saying, your infamy may even rise to the point that even rumors alone may basically put you on that level with those damn perverts. Within, soon, Leon, eyes winding Chuck, saying, never really thought of it like that. Within saying, see you later. As for you, lovely ladies, catch you later. As that of the muscular teen can help but walk away. Within, soon, Leon could say, cheerful dumbass never changes. Within, saying, let's go, Peru, saying, right, master. As Peru disappears within, Ryukai saying, senpai, that was Sojiro Minagaya. He was an old friend. He was the president at my junior high school's mixed martial arts club, which I was the vice president of, if you didn't hear. Within, Tsubasa saying, you did mixed martial arts? Like karate, kung fu, kickboxing, regular boxing, judo, Krav Maga, and many other martial arts. It was mainly just a way for me to learn how to defend myself, just in case. But then Momo saying, and you able to use all those other weapons? Self-taught by my dad back when I was in elementary school, and still did back in junior high school as well. So now you know that I'm not really much of a pushover. Even if I had to deal with the supernatural, I'm not much of a person that they can't mess with. So tell that of President Sona, if she wants me to join her peerage, then she better make it worth my while and give me an actual reason not to basically give up my freedom and honestly, I want the honest truth on why she really wants me. After saying his piece, he soon walks away, leaving the girls stewing in their thoughts. Ryukai basically looking determined, she basically walks off, as then Tsubasa saying, whoa girl, where are you going? Saying, need to talk to the president and vice president. We need to know the real reason why she wants him. Momo saying, we know the reason. It's to get him a part of his peerage. I mean, besides his capabilities with that of a sacred gear, he does seem like saying, we need to know the true reason why. He needs an accurate reason besides just, wanting to join because of his abilities. And honestly, I want the real reason too. After that, with that of the look of determination, the young girl couldn't help but run off back to Kuo Academy. Tsubasa, shrugging her arms a little bit, as she shakes her head saying, girls in love, what can you do? Running after that of her Kohai, Momo looking back at that of Leon, thinking, how could somebody like you have this much effect on people like us? It makes no sense, especially since you even say that you're introverted. Saying her piece, she soon tries to catch up with that of her fellow peerage members. It's currently in that of the evening. Soon, both Ernst and Flynn are currently back at the church. However, they're actually outside in the very back. Saying, so can I ask why we are meeting out back here instead of inside the church? Saying, putting up that of his finger towards his lips before saying, our fellow brothers and sisters of stray exorcist priests and priestesses are gone. All that remains is us, freed, and our two fallen angel superiors. And it seems like our other one is also gone as well. She's most likely the one that's been killing off that of our fellow stray exorcist. Flynn couldn't help but basically adjust his glasses saying, kind of speculated that girl seemed way too goody-goody for her own good. And smart for her own good as well, instead of power hungry like a lot of other fallen angels are. Not only that, she doesn't seem quite willing to underestimate mere humans such as ourselves. Soon, Flynn saying, smart. Most likely she's already contacted Azazel and possibly he probably sent that of his little attack dog squadron. Urs couldn't help but nod saying, exactly. Thinking, oh boy, guess this mission is going to be a lot more complicated than we thought. I thought for sure that this would be an easy one, saying, still might be, as Urs says this, with Flynn looking at that of the stoic-looking young man, before then saying, Freed's gone to do his little bit of his fun time, and he took that of the former holy maiden, Asia Argenta, with him. Soon Flynn saying, aren't you a little worried that he may kill/rape her after all? With that of Erskine up saying, not really. He's not stupid enough to piss off that of Raynor. He may be a holy sword user, but let's face it, he's still a failure of a clone of Siegfried. Even Civ, the very clone that is basically said to be the only perfection prodigy of that stupid cloning project. is the only success. As much as he hates to admit it, he's basically on the same level as that of a low-class being. Generously, I would give him that of peak mid-class. The only way he'll be able to reach that of the higher rankings of that of high class or peak high class, or even that of low ultimate class, if he gets his hands on that of a holy weapon, such as ours. With then Flynn come up and say, you're pretty much right about that, that's for sure. With then thinking, so, how are we going to do this, Father Erst? With then looking at that of his accomplice and partner, Erst begins to explain. Tomorrow night, while Rainer is trying to extract that of the sacred gear from that of that girl, we will head into that of Kuo Academy to go and to assassinate Citri. After that, we will leave the town. With then saying, oh, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this. With then saying, you and me both, my friend. As for the split second, if in a blinking you moment, Erst couldn't help but have that of a grinning smile. The very next day, Leon couldn't help but have that of a big yawn on his mouth, within saying, I made one hell of a mistake. However, a mysterious voice saying on his right, saying, what do you say that? Come on, boss. You know that you made the perfect choice creating somebody like me. Within, glancing at that of the person right beside him, as it being that of a blonde-haired young man with that of sky blue eyes, as he wears that of a black jacket with that of red and yellow engravings onto it. And not only, however, what stands out the most is that of his feathered scarf that basically looks like it's flowing in the wind, almost like that of wings, actually. With not only that, he also has that of two swords on his back. Within saying, I made the big mistake creating somebody like you, Corv. Within, as this being another one of his new blades he made with Annihilation Maker, as he names it, Corv, saying, come on, boss. But then, somewhat of a high pitch and basically childish voice saying, maybe you should have stopped when you had the chance there, Leon. Within, he couldn't help but get annoyed at that, saying, same thing goes for you, Abrona. I made a big mistake creating you as well. With then, soon, another voice saying, and I hope you don't say the same thing about me, my lord. But then saying, huh? Oh, Vale? Honestly, you're a lot more cooler, to be honest. But then, the one known as Vale saying, aw, well, at least I know that, before she could finish, gloating, saying, but set when we're sparring, damn it! God, you're too damn ruthless! As then, you could actually, even though you can't see her, you can actually feel the blush coming off her face. Currently, right now, Leon is basically speaking to that of his newest blades that he created while he was at home. This being that of Core, as before. However, the other two, Abrona, basically that of a young woman blade that looks like a mix of a cat and somewhat of a falcon, actually, given her appearance. She has both wings and a mask that covers that of her face. Her main weapons is basically twin single-edged sabers, actually. The curve of the blade is similar to that of a katana. However, it's not really made to be a katana. It's almost like a mix of a katana and that of a nadoki, which is basically a Japanese short sword that shinobis used to use for assassinations. Leon needed at least weapons that he could use in combat perfectly. Dual wielding was always something he always needed to strive and work on. Hell, his old man basically told him that a lot of times. It's the reason on why he created both Core and, Abrona. As for Vale, she was mainly just out of curiosity and also accident as well. Realizing that he could use that of a dark spear-like, blade after all, on the surface, she's basically calm and rational and basically logical too. Especially given that of her appearance, which is basically wearing that of a pure dark dress with a couple of red markings around. Also, her pale white skin that basically makes her look like she's a vampire, mix that with that of her pale white drill-like hairs. And surprisingly, she also has a quite ample chest as well. Basically, she's the very definition of those guys that like big-titted goth GFs. And she also has a bit of anger issues when she's fighting. Even when we were sparring last night, when her current fighting style is literally just stab and smash anything that comes her way. And honestly, it's basically pure dark power that comes from her strikes. Basically, she's using that of the power of darkness to amplify her power, even though she's basically swinging and thrusting wildly, making that of her cross spear, that her massive cross spear that she has, basically more dangerous to mess with. Even so, they're useful, but let's just say they made me quite exhausted to the point that I actually missed curfew, and I had to make an excuse to that of my dorm advisor at the time. And let's just say he wasn't really having it. Hell, I had to basically talk. I had to wake up early in the morning, basically talk to the guy, go to that of his office, nearing that of the dorm entrance, have him basically talk down to me and dress me down about the earliest of getting to curfew, and the rest is history. It's the very reason on why I'm too damn exhausted to deal with this shit. And honestly, I don't even want to deal with the rest of today. If I get in trouble today, then I get in trouble. All I want is just to relax. Hopefully. I really hope that's not too hard to ask. It was too hard for her to ask. The reason mainly being, the entire day, Hayato was basically acting like that of a crazed animal. The only time when people have seen Issei Hayato basically this angry was all the way back during the first year. He defended at least that of a few of his friends from that of upper seniors that planned on not just beating them from the Kendo Club, but also planned on basically leaving them in the hospital to keep them away from that of Kuo. Gotta give credit to Issei Hayato. He stood his ground and basically made sure to protect not just himself, but his friends as well. Even though he still got his ass kicked, the seniors had basically, from the early Kendo Club, that basically said that they would put them in the hospital, let's just say they got suspended. And it also cost them quite a bit of their own scholarships to continue schooling in that of Kuo Academy's college division after all. Hell, a few of them had to drop out too. Gotta give Issei Hayato some credit. Guy may be a shameless pervert with that of a breast fetish, again, but he's an honorable guy when he cares about those that he sees as his friends, or at least remembers them. As for me, the rumors still kept on going. Hell, not to mention many of the guys from the dorms talked about how I missed curfew and all that, which even made the rumors even more prevalent. There was even that time, few of the teachers even gave me that of certain looks. And I won't lie, that even stung me even more. Even some teachers that basically gave me the benefit of the doubt and also knew me personally as well, started believing in those damn rumors. And to be honest, it's to be damn expected. So to be fair, this day was never going to be easy for me if shit like this is going to keep on going. With it now being that of lunchtime, with then soon getting a message from that of Kalana, with then soon Dahlia, alongside that of Peru and Newt, all basically came out when you look at the message, with Newt saying, "What is it, Commander?" With then saying, "It's a message from Kalana. You guys saw what I saw through my head." And it's a message saying, "There's a problem. There are 2 remaining exorcists in Kuo. Make sure to keep your eyes out and and make sure to stay away from them. They're not like the other exorcists, like the ones you fought when you awakened your sacred gear. Please stay safe, Kalana." Within reading this message saying, "There are remaining exorcists with that of, and they're not your typical exorcists. What a pain." Within Dahlia saying, "Honestly, hon, you should probably heed her warning." Saying, "Seriously?" Saying, "I'm serious, darling." As she soon bends down to that of Leon's level, as he's still sitting on the bench, as he couldn't help but raise an eyebrow saying, "Look, You think, I know you can handle yourself, and I know you've gone strong, but you've only gone stronger by sparring and training with us, even learning how to do certain new strategies and tactics. Now that's good and all, but think about this. You're still human. You really think that, and these guys seem to be on a whole other level, even if they are human too. Try and think this logically and rationally, saying, you're right, Dahlia. And honestly, it's not my fault, it's not my duty. Honestly, getting involved in shit like this isn't my problem. This is something that the devils have to handle, not me. Within, soon, Peru saying, speaking of devils, we have company. Within, entering on that of the rooftop, being that of Tsubaki, with seeing her in all of her beauty, and that of her beautiful glory, long-haired, black-haired glory, and glasses wearing as well. But then, Leon couldn't help adjust his own glasses, saying, no, that to be expected. Putting away that of his lunch, which was just literally nothing but a soba sandwich. But then, saying, what do you want, senpai? But then saying, I have something from that President Sona to speak to you. Saying, all right, what is it? With then saying, she wants to tell you the truth on why she wants you to be part of her peerage. Saying, oh really? Saying, yes, if you could, please come by tonight. It's the only time where she'll be able to finally tell you. Saying, why tonight? But then thinking, oh right, it's you and her peerage's duty to basically look after the city, right? But then she's saying, so you've already got that down. Momo, Ryukai, and Tsubasa have already told me, and I ran into them, and they also. So I kind of figured that the girls told them that the reason why I won't join her peerage is until she basically told me the real truth, why she wants me. Well then, Tsubaki can help but think, smart and awesome. He truly is perfect. As she's still having that of her typical stoic look to her, but you could even see a little bit of a blush, but Leon's too far away to notice, before saying, that's all I'm wishing to tell you. Please, if you can, just give her the chance. Saying, fine, I will. See you tonight, senpai. But then, after saying that, Tsubaki still had that of a normal, neutral look. As soon as she heads out the door, heading downstairs, she went entirely blushing, saying, I'll be seeing him tonight. Oh, this is going to be great. Even though I'll be with that of Lady President and the other members of Student Council. Hope I at least be able to spend time with them. Not only that, but then she straightened herself out, putting on that of her Ice Queen persona once again, saying, I have some rumors to make sure to get straightened out. Even with that of a few teachers as well. As Tsubaki says this, you can even feel that of her devil aura basically turning the entire area around her like you're basically inside of a freezer. As the day goes by, with Leon preparing to heading back to the dorms to relax a little bit before heading back to Kuo, he soon noticed that Issei Hayato basically ran as fast as he can, confused on what the hell is going on. And not just him, in that of Class 2A, being that where the Prince of Kuo, Yuto Kiba, also heading out too. Within wondering, what the hell is going on? Within remembering that of Kalinar's message saying, Within Korra speaking up saying, hey, Master, you think that Kalinar's message could have involved something to do with the devils? Maybe that of Hayato, something important with Hayato? But then thinking, now that I mention it, that would make a lot of sense. Did those fallen angels do something? Or possibly those exorcists? Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's not my problem. Far from it. As Leon basically walks away, with many people basically keeping their distance from him, within him putting his headphones on so he doesn't have to hear any of the stupid rumors about him once again. Leaving the school, heading to the dorms, taking off that of his school uniform and putting on, and even taking off that of the hoodie, the sweatshirt that he always wears under that of his school uniform as well. and just putting on that of a regular black jacket with also having that of a t-shirt that says that of Blade Master from a tokusatsu series that's in that of High School DxD. Blue jeans alongside that of, well, black and red sneakers too. Within, thinking to himself, let's get this over with, shall we? As he within him pulling out that of at least one of his, well, handheld games actually, as he's going to use this time to relax a little bit before he has to do that stupid ass meeting with Sona. At least a good, well, 3 or 4 hours. With that, soon, as time goes on, walking through the streets, being that of Erst and Flynn, as they both are heading to Kuo Academy, but then saying, you know, it's kind of surprising that you want to go straight at Kuo Academy for this. But then Erst saying, best to take them out while they can. This is basic. I hear that the Grimory will plan on eliminating Lady Raynor and Lord Donasig. And given that many of our fellow exorcists are basically all dead, it won't be too much of a problem for them to handle. So we need to use this time now to basically end their lot and that of the Citri girl. While one devil heiress is away, another one will be easily to take care of. With then Flint saying, well, like I said, easy missions are one thing, but I would at least want to have at least of a good time when slaughtering them. After all, with Earth saying, oh, you will. We both will. Let's just get this mission over with for Lord Kakebil. Continually walking through that of the streets, but then they pull out that of their weapons. And that of Erst's hand being that of a somewhat bluish lance that unleashes that of a golden aura, as the edge almost looks like that of a spiral tip of a drill, or possibly even that of a shell, that of a seashell, or maybe a closed plant. As for Flynn's holy weapon, as it looks like that of a chakra blade, as it has that of golden markings, with the edge looking like that of a shining mirror silver. With this would be the wake-up call for Sona. Currently in that of the student council room, Sona finishing up that of her paperwork. As then, she getting out of her chair and looking out that of the window, thinking, he should be arriving in at least that of a possibly 10 to 20 minutes. I need to prepare to tell him the truth. The real truth on why I wish for him to join my peerage. Can't believe it, this. As then, Sona remembers that of the conversation she had with that of Ryuko, Momo, and Tsubasa when they came back from that of their patrols around Kuo, about the real reason on why Leon refuses to basically join her peerage. That he needs to know the truth on why she's so persistent on him joining her peerage. Not only that, also bringing the fact that Leon has been dealing with rumors like this all the time, even back in junior high school. It's just that, being here at Kuo, they're a lot more worse. She may have made the school a lot more tolerable and better for female students with having to deal with that perverted trio, but all it did was basically open up another outlet for the students to relieve another brand of stress, another problem in their eyes, that being Leon, a student that has no friend group, barely talks to anybody, even that of teachers as well, constantly alone, and always has headphones on, listening to music. A prime example for that of a disobedient and, well, child after all, and a delinquent in their eyes. But knowing that's not the real him, far from it. And with this, she will make an offer that he know that she'll bear everything. She'll tell him everything about why she wants him part of her peerage, and a way for him to basically gain the respect and popularity of the students as well. With then Tsubaki saying, Lady President, saying, Tsubaki, do you think I'm making the right decision? But then Tsubaki, wanting to just tease her out of her childhood best friend, crossing her arms below that of her ample chest, saying, do you think you are, Sona? But then Sona having that of a look of confidence, saying, I believe I am. With that, soon, Sona was about to comment again, before then feeling that of a pressure of holy energy basically come around that at the school, as then wondering, what's going on? As before she could continue, at the gate of Kuo Academy, Erst basically pierces that of the barrier surrounding Kuo with that of his lance, as the barrier basically tries to resist that of the holy lance. But then he couldn't help but smirk, saying, such a weak ass barrier. It's not even made to defend against that of true holy swords and holy weapons. I should expect nothing less from novices. Within, soon, piercing the barrier as it shatters from where they're at, before it completely and utterly fades. As soon, Sona noticing that the barrier is gone, as then even that of Rii, using that of her magic, can open say, President, the barrier, we need to head to the gate. We're under attack. Within, all the girls can help but head to that of the barrier, with even Tomoe bringing that of her katana, as even Tsubaki, her ninja, with her as well. As Sona could help but say, who would dare attack us now? Would the church or that of the fallen Aragori really go that far? With then heading to the entrance, within soon Flint saying, this is gonna be so much fun. Within Earth saying, first our priority target, Sona Citri, little sister of Satan Leviathan, Seraphol Leviathan. Take her out first, then you can have your little fun with that of her peerage, or what's left of them. Within saying, oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun and I love it. Within soon arriving in that of a spell circle showing the symbol of the Citri family, being that of Sona and her peerage. Within, Sona saying, rogue exorcist, you have a lot of nerve to show in that of my territory. I'll give you at least an option. Leave now or die. Then Flynn couldn't help but smirk, as then Erskine can up and say, my apologies, Lady Citri. I'm aware that this town alongside that of this school is both your territory and your base of operations. However, we were given orders to assassinate either you or the Grimory heir. Within hearing that, Momo could say, wait, who would be stupid enough to put a hit out on both devil heiresses? With Tsubasa saying, doesn't matter. They gotta be pretty damn stupid not to know on who our Prez's sister is. Within, soon, Tsubaki speaking of saying, and yet they do, and yet they're still continuing this attack. As then, both Erst and Flynn remove that of their robes. Within, seeing that of Erst's attire, as it being that of a sleeveless black uniform that shows quite a bit of his muscles, baggy black combat pants, combat boots as well, with that of gloves with crosses on that of the back end of his fist. As for Flynn, he wears that of a tight grayish black spandex uniform with that of the arms basically showing his arms though, as he also wears that of a small white scarf wrapped around him. As he adjusts his glasses and can up and say, now then, let the carnage begin. As he brings his holy chakra to that of his lips, as he licks the blade's flat end. Within, soon, Sona saying, Citri peerage, get ready. As then, the battle between that of the Citri and Assassination Stray Exorcist was about to begin. Before then, a burst of flames cuts right in the middle, especially on where both Erst and Flynn were. Within, soon, ice begins to basically flow around that of the area, as it begins to chill around that of both Erst and Flynn. Before then, they break out of it, with Flynn thinking, what the hell is going on? Before he could finish, within, a katana was about to head straight for that of his neck, as then he blocks it with that of his chakra. Then he steps back before getting multiple slashes towards him again and again and again, before jumping up into the air, trying to keep his distance, as he soon slides back on the ground trying to catch himself. As for that of Erst, he blocks multiple strikes and slashes from that of Gottfried and Peru, as both ice blades continue to basically try and push him back, as Godfrey about to slam down onto that of Erst. However, he blocks it with that of his spear, before then Peru basically stabs him into the gut, causing him to, use that of his holy aura to defend from the attack, pushing him back. Within him putting down his aura, within realizing, I didn't think that the devil's siblings had that of backup. I miscalculated. With then soon noticing that of the blades and even that of the new blade. But then Ryuka saying, "Wait, I know you guys. You're Peru," pointing at Peru, "and you're that guy with the hammer, Godfrey?" But then Godfrey saying, so you remember me, little lady? Good to know. With Flynn saying, "You gotta be shitting me. What the actual hell? This was supposed to be an easy mission. When the hell did the Citres get that of allies? Did the Satans basically have backup? I wouldn't put it past them." But then soon, Cord, having that of both his chrono katanas in his hand, saying, "Nope. This is basically an intervention from a friend of ours." Within Korra basically stepping up, as she having that of her massive lightning-shaped gauntlet in her hand, saying, "And our master, and basically wanted to talk to her. And seeing as she was attacked, it only makes sense that we help out, right?" Within, both of them say, "Their master," before coming into that of Kuo, with that of Newt's katana in his hand, with Newt basically walking right beside him, and not just her, but also that of Dahlia, Percival, and also Vale as well, within basically stepping in place, as soon saying, "You guys really have a lot of nerve." So this is what Cal and are meant to basically stay away from you guys. God damn it. My luck really does know how to piss me off and know how to screw me over so much. But then soon, Flynn saying, "Who the hell is this guy?" But Erst narrowing his eyes saying, "I know you. You were one of the targets. One of the targets that were supposed to be on that of the kill order. The same kill order that the Lord Kakebeel manipulated and gave to that of Lady Raynor. To think that you actually survived this long. It looks like my hunch was right. Lord Kalina basically betrayed us and the others." But then saying, "Yeah, gotta thank Kala for basically, giving me the information about you guys, and for also trying to kill me. I was at least able to awaken my secret gear because of that. Still hate the fact that she had to stab me to do it, but still." But then Sona saying, "Leon, hey, if you girls want to help out, I would really appreciate it. Because to be honest, just by looking at these guys, they ain't no pushovers. Unlike that of the fallen angel bitch I fought against a few weeks back. These two are professionals." Within, soon, both Erst and Flynn prepare for battle. But then soon, Tsubaki saying, "Lady Sona." Within, Sona sighing saying, "This is my territory," alongside Rias's. "And these two tried to assassinate me. If it wasn't for Leon-kun, who knows what would happen, especially given their holy weapons. So," within, taking a deep sigh, saying, "Leon-kun, I would aid you for your assistance to help me. Will you?" Saying, "Do you even need to ask? I may not like people, but I've always said this before. That doesn't mean I like to see people suffer." As he gets into that of his traditional Ei Jutsu stance, within, with that of Newt's katana basically jetting out as he's prepared for battle. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Let's read them. So, how did you guys like this part? I know this is a really long one, but I need to make this pretty clear. I had to basically condense a lot of information from that of other people's point of view, from Leon's, past friends and all that, from Kuo Academy now becoming more of a pain in the ass for the guy, and also setting up the battle between that of Ernst and Flynn against Leon and Sona's peerage. So yeah, sorry to put you guys on that of a cliffhanger for this awesome fight. That's my bad. But even so, I still enjoy this part all the same. So yeah, at any rate, after this, it will be the end of the first official arc. Issei will save that of Asya at the church against Rainer, while Leon is saving that of Sona against that of Ernst and Flynn. And after that, Leon will finally join Sona's peerage. Just letting you guys know now. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep you updated my videos all below the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, main channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App, all linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later guys, hope you all take care.